Hello my dear friend, welcome back to my channel. This is Juni's Plan With Me. This year for my husband's bullet journal, as some of you may already know, I'm doing a whole year movie theme, and last month I did House Moving Castle by Studio Ghibli. As requested, here I'm going to share with you how the Calcifer mood tracker eventually looks like. Forgive my husband's drawing skill and feel free to leave comments and let me know which one is your favorite. If you want to check out the Bujo setup video, I'll leave the link in the right up corner and description for you. So at the end of the last video, I announced the theme for March, which is Women's Power or Girls Power, since March 8th is the International Women's Day. I received a lot of awesome movie suggestions. Eventually, I decided to go with another Studio Ghibli movie, Princess Mononoke, based on the final vote by my Patreon members. But I'll still share the other highly recommended movies at the end of this video, also announce the theme for the next month. For the cover page, I'm using Pigma Macro 03 and 08 fine liner pen to draw out the basic shape of this mask. As I'm working on that, let me quickly introduce the movie Princess Mononoke for some of you who may not watch it before. Princess Mononoke is a 1997 Japanese epic fantasy movie written and directed by Miyazaki, animated by Studio Ghibli. The story is set in the late Muromachi period of Japan, but it includes fantasy elements, following a young Amishi prince named Ashitaka and his involvement in a struggle between the gods of the forest and the humans who consumes its resources. I was really young when I first watched it, and all I remember is how greedy the humans are on non-stop taking the energy and resource from the nature. But I just watched again yesterday, and based on how you see it, the movie can be understood in many different ways besides environment protection. And I think all the female characters are so special in this movie, even though the main ideas of it is not focusing on feminism. Like Lady Ambush with so much power and support, showing that the female could be a leader too, even though I don't agree what she's doing with the environment. And the other woman in the Iron Town who works as hard as men, who can use guns and fight like a real soldier, also shows the woman power. I don't want to spoil too much, but I'm sure you'll have other understanding about this movie besides women's power, and I'll leave that for you to find out by yourself. So here on the cover page, I forgot to mention that this is the mask the girl is wearing. Her name is San. She was raised by wolves and resent humankind. In the movie, it mentions multiple times that San is treated not as a human or a wolf. She has hard time defining herself even though she keeps emphasizing she's a wolf. The movie is not a simplistic tale of good or evil, but the story of how humans, forest animals, and nature gods all fight for their share of the new emerging order, and San is a special being within all of them. After adding some details on the shadows, it's time to color it. Usually I only do black and white in this Bujo series, but I really cannot avoid the red elements through the whole movie on her mask, her face, and her weapons. So I decided to use watercolor to apply red on it. You can also use brush pen or gouache or whatever pigment you like. I also try to color the side of the mask a little bit darker to give it a 3D feeling. Then on the left side, I wrote the movie's Japanese name Mononoke Hemi, mimicking the same font from the poster, and also the title march on the right side. Here I want to mention that the term Mononoke is not a name, but a Japanese word for supernatural shape-shifting beings that possess people and cause suffering, disease, or death. I think here Mononoke also represents the connection between the environment and humans, and demonstrates that there is an imbalanced power between the two. And the final step for the cover page is to use Posca white marker to add in some highlight. By the way, I'll leave all the information and links in the supplies I'm using in this video in the description box down below if you want to check it out. Before moving to the next spread, I want to quickly mention that you can find the digital download of this cover page and all my Bujo spreads in my Patreon community. As monthly subscription, you can get more bonus content and vote for my future video theme. But of course, I'll really appreciate even if you're just here and watch the rest of this video. It means a lot to me and this channel. Okay, now let's move on to the monthly view page. As you can see the pencil guide, I'm doing a really simple traditional calendar here. Each day is 5x4 blocks if the number helps. And I also draw the horizontal line to make the layout simple and neat. Then I use tumble brush pen N75 to color the days in week title bar and 31 dots. Then write down Monday to Sunday, date 1 to 31 plus note with 01 fineliner pen. On the left side, this is my first time challenging drawing a wolf. But luckily, the poster is really good reference, so I basically just copy the poster and try to capture the angry wolf face as much as possible. Then for Sam part, it wasn't too hard since I'm pretty good at human drawing. Although when I did the pencil guide, I made her look like a boy so much, so here I have to be extra careful with the shape of her face and her eyebrow to get her back. After the line work, I'm going to black out the background a little bit. And the easiest way to get a clean sharp edge is to apply a washi tape and then color on it. This time I'm using Arteza real brush pen since the tip is soft and pointy so I can draw the furry edge of the wolf. But make sure to apply on a thicker paper notebook because it could ink through if the paper is too thin. The journal I use here is from Scrabble That Matters. I'll leave affiliate link and 10% coupon code in the description if you're interested. By the way, the one I picked for myself is from Notebook Therapy and I also have 10% coupon code for you. I'll receive a small commission on the sales with no extra cost on you when you use the links, and that'll help and support me at the same time. So thank you if you're using the links for purchasing. The next spread, as always, is Happy Tracker and Vlog. Of course, bullet journal should be customizable to help you organize your life better, so feel free to change it to sleep log, hour log, or maybe productivity log based on your need. As for the layout, I'll keep using X and Y axis style. X represents 31 days and Y represents happy and weight, except I'll leave the weight number part for my husband to fill in since he's been losing weight a lot and I can't mark the same numbers he gave me last month. On the right side, I have some leftover space and I decided to leave it for the woman characters in the movie. Even though Lady Abushi doesn't care about the environment, doesn't respect God, and is also pretty cruel sometimes, I still can't ignore how she helps the woman in the Aryan town to be strong and self-independent. Besides producing the most important product in their town, which will be treated to food, and they are also able to use the gun to fight and protect their hometown. And now it's time to work on my favorite page in this setup, Mood Tracker. I love how Miyazaki always makes some cute creatures in his movie, like the wandering suit in my neighbor Totoro, which by the way I also used on the Mood Tracker page in my January Bujo setup. And here we have those cute ghost Kudama in Princess Mononoke. They are a sign that the forest is healthy and they survive or die with the forest. I thought it could be really cute to apply on the Mood Tracker and fill in the facial expressions every day. My husband really liked this idea because I pre-draw the eyes part, so all he needs to do is to fill in the mouth section, unlike last month he had to draw in the whole face by himself. In the movie, they're really adorable and a little bit dumb look. They never talk, but they'll walk and guide you. There was a really funny scene when Ashtaka carried a guy he just saved and tried to find their way out. The Kudama will mimic them and carry each other, which is what I'm drawing here. Anyway, they do look like ghosts, but they're so cute, and when they worship the god of the forest, they also turn their heads and shake it, making this sound. So yeah, that's the Mood Tracker, and the next page is Brain Dump. I try to make it really simple, but of course have to add in some elements from the movie. And what I chose is these two different forms of the forest god. I believe it was also translated as forest spirit. The Japanese name is Shishigami. At night, he'll turn into a giant translucent humanoid walking around and patrolling the forest he's protecting, so people also call him Nightwalker. And in the daytime, he'll become a deer but with more outers and a human-look face. He has the power over life and over death, so he can cure illness and curses, but also able to end life. And finally, we're on the weekly spread. As always, I'll be making Dutch door, but first let me draw in this spear weapon belongs to Sam first. I use 03 liner pen to draw the basic look, then use 01 to add in some wood texture, then use 08 to emphasize the outline. Also don't forget to decorate the red arrows on it. As for the weekly layout, I'm making 2 weeks per spread as requested, and each day is 17 by 5 blocks. And sorry, my face got into the camera a little bit. Anyway, for the Dutch door part, I cut away 8 blocks and then round the corner, same layout for the following pages. On the last spread, I also add in summary since there's perfectly some space left, and then on the right side, I'm going to use it as gratitude. On the right edge, I decided to draw in a bowl from Ashitaka because I realized that I haven't drawn anything related to him. After all, he's #1 male character in this movie. And as I'm drawing, I want to share the movies that were suggested many times by you but I didn't get to choose for this month. Hidden Figures, Wonder Woman, Brave, Moana, Little Woman, Mad Max Fury Road, On the Basics of Sex, Captain Marvel, The Devil Wears Prada, Charlie's Angels. And I'm sure there's so many other good woman power movies that I didn't mention here, but feel free to leave comments and let us know. I promise I'll watch them all. So yeah, that's all I want to share with you today. If you haven't watched the movie Princess Mononoke yet, I highly recommend it. And if you already did, I hope you enjoy watching this bullet journal setup video. As for the next month's movie, I'm thinking about doing an Audrey Hepburn movie. Well, mainly because last month I mentioned The Breakfast at Tiffany's and no one mentioned or voted that one, so let me cheat a little bit this time. If you're also a fan of her, leave your favorite movie by Audrey in the comment and let's get ready for the next month's Bujo setup. At the end, if you like this video, please click like and consider subscribing. Also don't forget to turn on the bell so you can receive notifications every time when I upload new videos. And I hope you have an amazing March. I'll see you very soon in my next one. Bye!